Greetings, cinephiles. I'm Sue Wright, and welcome to the Wild Rivers Film Radio, the official podcast of the Wild Rivers Film Festival on KCIW 100.7 FM. But before we get started, we'd like to thank the City of Brookings and the Curry County Cultural Coalition, Oregon Cultural Trust, for their generous grant support, and a special thanks to Travel Curry Coast and Oregon Film, official sponsors for 2025. If you're interested in sponsoring the Wild Rivers Film Festival and supporting our mission, celebrate indie cinema on the Wild Rivers Coast, or learn more, check in to wildriversfilmfestival.com. And if this is your first time hearing about the Wild Rivers Film Festival, we're so glad you're here. The Wild Rivers Film Festival is a celebration of indie and local cinema that takes place every third week of August in Brookings. Over 4 action-packed days, we screen more than 50 films across 3 locations, host question and answer sessions with visiting filmmakers, present educational panels, and throw VIP parties. And we cap it all off with an unforgettable awards ceremony. Festival passes are on sale now at wildriversfilmfestival.com, and we can't wait to see you at the show. Today we're diving into the benefits of community partnerships with Kat Liddell and Aiden Lile. Kat Liddell is with the Chetco Community Public Library and also the Threepenny Theater, and Aiden Lile is with the Chetco Pelican Players. Kat and Aiden, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me here.
Great. Let's start with the organizations that you both work with and your roles there. Kat, can you tell us a bit about the history of the Chetco Community Public Library and Threepenny Theater and your roles with each?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be happy to start with the Chetco Library here in Brookings. It's a long-running institution. The library has been around for decades, but I have been with the library for about 11 years now. I'm their assistant director, and I'm head of their programs and events and services. And the library is a great community hub and gathering place beyond books. We also have meeting spaces to rent to the public, and we also partner with organizations like the Wild Rivers Film Festival to provide our meeting space and a place to screen films for the festival when it happens in August.
For free to the public.
And we provide these services to the public for free. So all of our meeting rooms are bookable, and if you need to book it for a meeting or any other kind of gathering, we might be able to book it to you for free. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Aiden, would you like to talk a little bit about your role with Chetco Pelican Players?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'm Aiden Lile, the president of the Chetco Pelican Players. I'm not going to do as good of a job giving the history. I'm usually very hands-on, but not the best history nut guy. But the Chetco Pelican Players have been around since 1988. And we try to stay very involved with the community. We put on 5 or 6 productions a year. We're very involved with the Wild River Film Festival, with the Pirates of the Pacific Festival, and we put on the local haunted house here in Brookings. And I think that's a big chunk of what we do here in town.
You guys stay busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's not very many opportunities to book space at the Chetco Playhouse, and we are so delighted that you've let us in on the 3rd weekend in August each year. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And Kat, would you like to talk a little bit about Threepenny Theater, which is newer?
Certainly, yeah. So Threepenny Theater Co. actually started about 2 years ago in April of 2023. We just thought, hey, more theater is a good thing. More performing arts opportunities is a great thing to have in the community. And so we've been going for the last 2 years, got our nonprofit status about a year ago. And we're doing 3 to 4 productions a year in the community. One of the things that we get a lot of joy out of, and what makes us unique, is that we're a traveling troupe. So we'll build a theater space wherever we're able to get it. And we get to have some fun, like bringing the magic of theater into even the most mundane of spaces. So we've
So
been,
You have to have community partnerships if you don't have your own theater, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Community partnerships are essential if you want to exist in a traveling sort of way. We've been really happy to kind of cross-pollinate with volunteers with the Wild Rivers Film Festival. We have some great community partnerships with Southern Oregon Coast Pride. So it's just there are so many organizations in this community that are supportive of live theater in general and finding ways to make it happen.
And you've worked with the Activity Center as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So actually one of our biggest partners is the Chetco Activity Center up on the north end of town, just behind Subway on Chetco Lane in Brookings. And they've been really great about providing us with rehearsal space for our shows. And we're going to be, for the first time, seeing about doing some productions in their space at the Chetco Activity Center. Starting with the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged, which is going to be happening in the back end of July. It's going to be a really funny show. So we're looking forward to that. They've been great to work with.
It'll be a fun summer event.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great comedy. Totally absurd.
Aiden, one of Wild Rivers Film Festival's big goals is to support community partnerships. Can you share a bit about how community partnerships the Chetco Pelican Players has been involved with, and how that benefits you and the other organizations in the community?
Yeah, so we try to make sure that we create a space that can be good for actors of all ages to be able to grow and be involved in the community, and really trying to bring in people from all walks of life. And the Pirate Fest is a really fun opportunity for that one, especially this year, because in years past, we've always done the Cutthroat Inn, which is where we sling rum during the Pirate Festival. This year, we've got a bit more of an opportunity. With last year, we started a booth called the Bilge Rats, and we're trying to more lean into being reenactors and whatnot. And so it's been a really fun opportunity to try to find people who may not have been involved with theater already, but maybe have a fun skill that is theatrical or good for the stage, and getting to see kind of how those worlds can kind of bleed together.
And just because I think a lot of people might have a particular impression about a pirate festival, I want us to broaden that, because I know last year there was a really big push to make a space for kids where they could have sword fights and different kinds of activities. There were pirate chests.
Trying to lean away from it just being a drunk fest.
I didn't want to say that. But Wild Rivers Film Festival had our booth down there where the kids were hanging out. And I was really delighted.
And I really think it's wonderful, because how I remember the Pirate Fest starting off when I was younger, and my first memories of CPP's involvement and whatnot, is they had fun things like you can throw wet stones at someone in the stocks and whatnot. And it used to feel more like it was geared for the whole family experience. And I feel like we're really aiming to get to that now. And it's really fun to be a part of that and see new faces get brought in, and seeing young people take on leadership opportunities too during this. Seeing kids teach other kids how to play pirate games and whatnot, talk and walk and act like a pirate. It's really fun getting to see people who were passionate about it when they were young, take that same passion and get to spread it to other people.
Great. And if you're just joining us, this is the Wild Rivers Film Festival and our Wild Rivers Film Radio podcast on KCIW 100.7 FM. And my co-host today is Bev Juday, and we're with Kat Liddell and Aiden Lile talking about community partnerships. So, Kat, what would you like to add?
Oh, gosh. I mean, like for the library in itself, community partnerships are vital. So when the Wild Rivers Film Festival approached us about being a partner for space sharing for screening films, we were absolutely thrilled. You're just one of many community partners that we work with. For just most recently, this spring, we're going to be partnering with the Master Gardeners to be bringing back plant clinics from April through October. So you can bring your plant or a picture of a plant that might be having trouble or might be having issues, and like trained volunteers from Master Gardeners will give you advice on how to keep your plant healthy. We're partnering beyond you guys with golly gee willikers. We've partnered on some groups with All Care. We just got a grant from them for getting a new maker station for the kids in the youth area.
Can you tell us just a bit about what a maker station is? Because I think there are a lot of people in the community that think a library is just books.
Right. Yeah. I think there's actually a picture hanging in front of the front desk right now that is like Willy Wonka sitting there going like, oh, so you think that libraries only have books in them? Oh, you must be new here.
Yes.
So yeah, libraries and especially libraries in the last 30 years or so, they offer so much more to the community than just books. We're a hub for internet access for those who, until Beacon Broadband really gets up and running, like there's still a huge digital divide in this area. It's like internet access is expensive and it can be really hard to come by, especially if you live in more remote parts of the service area. And so we're a hub for internet access. We are we're a huge social hub for a lot of people through the programs and events that we do. We have these monthly groups called Craft and Connect that fill up every single month where people get like hands-on, step-by-step instruction on crafting techniques that's absolutely free, materials provided, and people can get in there and have some social time that they might not get with other people beyond the book clubs, beyond our library of things where you can rent tools out and board games out. It's kind of, we just really want to pride ourselves on being a community hub, whether that's for lifelong learning, whether that's for recreation. If there's a way that the library can supplement the community in that way, then we're here to provide that.
And I think that's one of the things we probably all share is working to bring people together in the community. COVID-19 kind of got us set in an isolationist pattern, and breaking that is really important. So whether it's going to the theater with your friends or to the film festival or the pirate festival or the library. But
I was going to say, too, one of the things that surprised me, Kat, that you're able to do is give individual one-on-one attention when someone needs computer help.
Oh yeah, that's a big service that we provide. Most of our staff are trained to give one-on-one tech assistance to people with just basic questions that they have about their device. If they're having trouble with their device, we're there to provide help with that. And we really pride ourselves on trying to keep up with tech trends and technology, just because, especially being in an area with older folks in it who may or may not keep up with technology, we know there's going to be questions, and we're a free resource for people to approach and ask for help in that regard.
I think it's a fantastic option for all of us.
It's really fun, yeah.
And Aiden, when I think about the theater, I think about how many people tell me that they're involved with your group. From very young kids, they jump up and down and they're so excited about it, to older people. How do you get that in excitement all rolling?
I would say a big part of that is from having been blessed with having had a theater organization around as long as it has. But also our community. And we're really good about if we are involved with something and we know that we're missing some people. I found time and time again, people go out and they'll recruit like crazy until before you know it, you have someone new stepping on stage and then see them in show after show. And it just almost becomes a contagious bug. And it's wild how we almost all, once we catch that bug, we want to spread it.
I think it's wonderful. And I've seen really quiet children just come to life. And I've walked into your theater there, and kids that I know are really quiet, that I've seen them at school or around the community, they're jumping up and down and bouncing off the wall like a totally different
I've
person there.
experienced that a few times too.
Yeah, I think it's really a fantastic opportunity for our community to have organizations like both of you work for. So thank you both.
And I got to say, from being involved with CPP, which has been around a little longer, it's really cool to see Threepenny's impact on the community. And it's the energy that they bring, it's contagious. And it's really cool for being a part of a group that's older, like CPP is, to see how that contagious energy riles up both new and old members to kind of want to try things different or to kind of upkeep and really try to upgrade our experience too. And so to me, it's a real big joy getting to see Threepenny.
Rile up.
Yeah.
Rile up. I love that phrase. No, like you make a great point too, and I really love you speaking to seeing the experiences of kids in theater too, Bev. That's it's really important to us to be able to not just have fun as a group in and of ourselves and stay insular, but to introduce new generations of actors to the joy and the magic of producing theater. So we just did our first youth production, and getting to work with some of these teenagers as they went through. We did this one-act comedy called Escape Room, and it was a really simple present.
It was awesome.
It's a very simple premise, but it's all these this softball player team like trapped in an escape room with their coach as they're trying to work on their team building exercises, and shenanigans ensue. But it's a simple premise, but like drilling these kids on developing a character, like committing to that character, and just like really exercising the fundamentals. We were like, oh, are we being too hard on them? And then when they get to the end of it, they were like, when's the next one for kids? Can we go do this again? So I worried we were being like, I was like, oh no, I don't want to be too hard on them. But then they were like, it was kind of cool to have like people talk to us and treat us like adults on the stage. And that was cool. That was something fresh for them. And they just had a good time with that. And that really gave us the energy to go like, yeah, we're gonna keep working with youth in the future. Wherever there's a need, if we can help supplement CPP in that way, we're happy to do that. So.
And they have showed us that it doesn't matter how many shows we give them in this town. They're gonna want more.
They want more. Yeah.
They're hungry for roles.
They're hungry for opportunities, for growth. Yeah.
Yes. And something you both do so well that's amazing is there doesn't need to be previous experience. No one needs to be a talent in whatever they feel like, and you encourage them. I see that whether it's young people or old people, you encourage them, just come out here and do it. And times that I think to myself, sitting in that audience, wow, I don't know how they get these people to be so courageous, but you do.
Oh, yeah. And then people who think they would never do this before in their lives, and they're like, well, I think I'll try it. And then suddenly, like, there's one of our actors, Donald Huggins. He played a character role in Sylvia, one of our fall comedies last year. And he was like, well, I don't know if I can handle a part this big. And he gets through it, and he was like, when's the next one?
Yes.
When's the next one? So now he's going to be in our comedy vignettes.
That's how it was with one of our youth that was involved with Escape Room, Logan Roberts. Same kind of way. I won't be on stage. There's no way you could talk me into it. And then next thing you know, he's holding up some props in the background. And then before you know it, he's
he's out there.
Yep.
And then too, it's fun like fostering like their talent in tech and stuff, to things that happen behind the scenes, just the same as the film festival likes to foster behind the scene talent in filmmaking in their filmmaking workshop for kids. It's like, it's not just the actors that make a production, whether that's in person or on film. It's a team sport, absolutely. Yeah.
So when we have the Wild Rivers Film Festival's summer workshop coming up, and it's another thing that we share is that taking these kids in and treating them as competent individuals and giving them a chance to run with stuff and try out new things.
I will warn you, you might want to watch out this year. A lot of the theater kids heard about this workshop from last year, the number might double this year.
And
they're interested, yes.
Yeah.
We want to host a film acting workshop this year so the kids understand the difference between theater acting and film acting. But again, it's just giving them access and letting them run. So last year we gave them 4 days of instruction, and then we took them out to shoot on location, and by the second half of the second day, they were just running everything. And it was so awesome.
They were completely confident.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really amazing. Like you find, and especially in middle schoolers and like early high schoolers, if you just let them run with something, like they're at a point where self-consciousness can get in the way, but once they've learned a few things, it just starts to melt away so quickly, and they pick things up so quickly too at the same time. It's really a great age to catch people and see if they're interested in something.
So I'm hoping that we can partner this year.
Ooh, that was bad.
One of the things I really love about the school for the Wild Rivers Film Festival is when our instructor, Dan Springan, takes the kids through a simple scene with a couple of mice. And they're going to jump on a counter and then jump up on a refrigerator and eat some fruit. He takes them through that step by step and asks them, who built that set? So maybe you don't want to be a director. Maybe you don't want to be an actor, but you want to build stuff. There's a big opportunity for you to have a great career
Absolutely.
in the film industry building sets. And those little mice jump up there. How'd they do that? Oh, stuntman.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to be a stuntman or a stuntwoman, all the way up to the hospitality for that food, or maybe it actually had to be crafted out of plastics, and the lighting and the sound. But I think it opened up the whole universe for kids who think, well, maybe I don't want to be an actor. Maybe I don't want to make a movie. But they lit up when they heard there were so many other things they could do that make a really good living.
Yeah. And also giving kids options too. Like maybe they are passionate about pursuing screen acting. And
Yes.
but it is a tough place to break into. It can be really tough to nail that audition and get that role and know that there is work in the industry and there are connections to be made while you're working for that too.
Absolutely.
One of our board members, Chloe Rosenthal, she has a number of film credits to her name as far as being a screen actor, and she's got a lot of experience. But she knows too she has a lot of talent as a set dresser, and that's something that she does when maybe roles are light, and she supplements that, and she floats back and forth in different ways within the industry, and that works really well for her, and that's how she makes a living. So there's
think
lots
it's
of
great.
options for you to make a living out of it.
I remember her in Misery.
Oh yes, yeah. She did play Annie Wilkes in the Chetco Pelican Players production of
She was
Misery.
so convincing.
Oh, it was so good. She was great. She was so great. She comes up to act from time to time too. She's going to be in one of our upcoming plays in the summer, so it's really nice to have her come back and work with us.
Really quickly, I'd just like to, Aiden, how long have you been in the Brookings community?
Oh, I've been here since, well, I was born in Gold Beach and I've lived here my whole life. So
Great. And I know, Kat, you grew up here too.
Yes. So I wasn't born in this county. I was actually born in Southern California, but my family moved up here when I was about a year and a half old. So raised here is
So
about
can
how
you
long
both
I've been
speak
around.
to the things that are important to you about this community?
Yeah.
What keeps you here?
Why don't you go first, Aiden?
I was going to let you go first.
Oh.
Well, to me, I would say definitely how close-knit this community is has been a big part of what's kept me here. I know we all sometimes kind of joke that, it's rough when you don't want the whole town to know your business. But on the other hand, as I had used the example a bit ago about when we have a production and we're missing an actor, it's really wonderful how this community will come together and through word of mouth, we'll make anything happen if we know someone's passionate about trying to make something happen. It just really feels like a good, tight-knit community that really feels like a family sometime. And I feel like I feel like that pretty much wraps up how I'm feeling on that.
On my end, just living here for as long as I have, I really only spent my college years away from Brookings. But to kind of touch on what Aiden said, as far as the really close relationships that you can forge with people, and even if you're not like having dinner at their house every Saturday or Sunday night or something, but like knowing that you can trust your neighbors and trust the people that you do know well enough to be supportive of you or of different organizations in the community, and that knowing for the most part everybody here has the best interests of everyone in this community at heart. It's been a crazy couple of years, since COVID and onward. But like even then, those relationships remain, and people still have each other's backs. And as long as we remember that and like look at each other as neighbors, then it's really easy to get on board for big projects like your big musicals at CPP, to find spaces for our little traveling troupe to have the space to pack in a theater. And then when you forge those relationships, it's so much easier to advocate for the arts and for the performing arts, and really get in the door, remind people that even as sometimes it like comes into question, like how valuable are the arts to a society? You have those inroads and you have those abilities to have conversations with people about why the arts matter and point to kids in these productions with us, like how it's changing their lives and making them more confident people. So that's what I love most about living in this community.
It's about faith and trust.
Well said.
Yeah. And a little bit of pixie dust. Yes.
There you go. Made it
Or
perfect.
stage glitter, whichever comes first. Yeah.
Well, before we run out of time, what's coming up for either of you that you'd like to share with our audience?
You first. You've got the first thing coming up, dude.
Well, for our next production is There She Blows. It's written by one of our founding members, Mike Moran, and it's a melodrama that's loosely based on some of the culture around Brookings, and it's a lot of fun. Actors of all ages in it, and I highly recommend coming and checking this one out.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it's the production's third time that it's been done in this community since 2010. So at this point, it's become it's like kind of a tradition, just at the Chetco Playhouse. Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up at the at Threepenny Theater, we're doing a series of comedy vignettes called All in the Timing, and that is by a playwright called David Ives. That is. Actors love being in All in the Timing because it's a really great way to exercise your comedic acting chops. But also it just touches on absurd humor and like language play and all that stuff that just like really, it is a good time, and it all happens in about an hour or less. So what's not to love about that?
Yeah, perfect.
And then, of course, at the library, don't forget, coming up during the Azalea Festival, another community tradition is the Friends of Library Azalea Festival book sale. The Azalea Festival book sale happens over Azalea Festival weekend, so be sure to keep an eye out for that at the library.
And they say laughter's good medicine.
It is. It's great.
Sounds like we've got lots of it on the horizon. So, anything? Just real quickly, what's your vision for the future with the library? What would you most like to see?
Oh goodness. Well, I mean, like right now, like with current events, like the future of libraries and the arts, just locally, nationally, it feels a bit foggy and uncertain right now, but we want to continue to be a community hub. We want to continue to be a resource, and we want to be a place where people can go, where they can grow, where they can gather, where they can connect, and where they can get reliable information. So that's where we're at right now. We're staying the course and trying to be true to ourselves as a library.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Aiden, I know that Chetco Pelican Players has a long history, but things change even in an organization with that kind of traditions. What would, and I'm putting you on the spot here now as president of the organization, but what would be your vision for Chetco Pelican Players going forward?
Currently, we definitely want to strive to keep a lot of the values and whatnot that we've already set. But our big goal right now also is trying to figure out ways to bring in more outside groups. Not last year, but in previous years, we're going to have them coming back this year. Puppeteers for Fears. That's the example I'm going to use. They are so much fun. We really want to try to bring in more outside troops like that. And so trying to learn how we can reach out to groups like this, how we can make our location known for those such groups, or, bands that are coming through, comedians, trying to bring in more outside influence, because there's not a lot of room for that in our town.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We need to close up, but real quickly, where can folks find out what's happening at Chetco Pelican Players?
The Facebook is the best spot, I would say, and then also our website. We're a little bit better about updating the Facebook than we are the website, but we're working on getting there.
Okay. And Kat?
You can connect with the library at chetcolibrary.org. The library is also available on Facebook, and we have a full events calendar at chetco.librarycalendar.com. You can always just drop in when we're open too. We're located at 405 Alder Street. And if you want to connect with Threepenny Theater Co., our website is threepennytheater.com, and we also have profiles on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's it for this episode of Wild Rivers Film Festival. If you want to learn more about the Wild Rivers Film Festival, buy passes, volunteer, or sign up for sponsorships, you can do so at wildriversfilmfestival.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates. The recording is by Michael Gores. Our sound mixing and editing is by Tom Bozak. We are produced by Amanda Whittenmore, and our guests today were Kat Liddell and Aiden Lile. And I'm Sue Wright with Beth Juday, and we'll see you next time.